point should be for us to know ourselves before we commence the inspection. This is a team from the Yobe State Govt, a team agricultural transformation from Yobe State. We are here in Cross River State to learn from you and also share ideas about Ayade agricultural transformation, which we'll be monitoring for some time. And so our governor, Honorable Mwema Labuni, the chairman of the APC and the chairman extraordinary convention planning committee, sent us to Cross River State to understudy the agricultural transformation that is going on. We are happy today that your governor and yourselves are now part of the APC.
Yes.
So we shall be talking the same language. On the delegation, the committee is made up of about 10 people, 10 of us, but on this delegation today we are 7 in number. Let me start introducing them. To your immediate right is Dr. Hajia Mayro Amshi. She's the Commissioner for Agriculture.
You're welcome.
She has been a commissioner several times.
That's a very familiar name.
Yes, a technocrat. MFR. A technocrat and now a politician. Next to her is one-time honorable member of the Yobe State House Assembly. Several times. Later he became commissioner several times. Then went to the National Assembly for good 12 years, 3 terms as member House of Representatives. Currently the commissioner for youth and youth sports and social development. When you look at now, next is the man in Babaliga, Honorable Adamu Usman. Right Honorable Adamu Usman, several times member House of Assembly, one time Speaker Yobe State House Assembly, and currently the advisor on local government matters. His Excellency. Then next to me is Baba Usman Gelgarma. He has been in local government service for years. He retired. He's currently the advisor to His Excellency on agriculture. He's also the secretary, national secretary of the Meti Allah Cattle Breeders Association. I'm sure you must have
seen on TV.
Yeah. Then next is the Dr. Abba Musa Kolere. He's the permanent secretary, Minister of Agriculture. He's the youngest amongst us, I think. Let me come this side. We have Adadi Lawan Kolo Gaidam. He's currently the permanent secretary of political affairs, governor's office. Coming back to me, Dr. Abubakar Garwaidia. I'm currently the commissioner for humanitarian affairs and disaster management. I'm chairing this committee. One time managing director of the Chad Basin Development Authority. We are here to learn from you. We are also here to share knowledge with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. It's a pleasure welcoming you to Cross River State. On your arrival to Cross River State yesterday Sunday, the 24th of May, as was approved by Excellency on the request of your governor for the Yobe State Agricultural Transformation team to come to Cross River State for a guided study tour of Ayade Agro Industrial Revolution projects in Cross River State. I want to welcome you once again. My name is Tukom Okonowuna. I'm the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources in Cross River State. With me here is the Commissioner for Commerce. She's Mrs. She's one time, she has been formerly the Commissioner for Information in Cross River State. In her first step, in the second term, he is the Commissioner for Commerce. So I want to say that the Governor of Cross River State has done so much in the area of agricultural industrial revolution. Cross River State have attracted a lot of attention worldwide. I think that is the more reason why your governor have sent you here for a guided study tour for you to understudy the model of the agro-industrial revolution that's currently going on in Cross River State. Here we just arrived at the site of the Cross River State cassava starch cassava industry. This industry is undergoing construction, as you can see. Work have reached advanced stage, and within the area here is a cluster of farms, about over 1,000 hectares of land that have been acquired for the cultivation of cassava. In the state government have acquired over 10,000 hectares of land in contiguous areas across the 3 senatorial districts in the state. But since this cassava factory is sited here in the Central Senatorial District, the governor saw a need to also kind of acquire a contiguous land of about 1,000 hectares in this place as a kind of a demonstration farm. So that people will be coming to see what we are doing our cassava model here. As you come to visit the cassava factory, you see the cassava physically planted here, while others farms are located in outside contiguous areas across the 18 local government in the state. So here you can see is the cassava starch factory that is under construction. The processing factory, the equipment are on ground. As we go to Ayade Industrial Estate tomorrow, you see the cassava processing factory and the starch factory equipment are on ground, awaiting installation, because the factory was one of the challenges that was delayed the installation of the factory. So now that the factory is ready, I believe work is ongoing about the installation of the equipment. It is believed that before the last quarter of this year, we will commence processing of cassava in Cross River State into various products like the cassava starch used for pharmaceutical company, gari, fufu, even the cassava peels itself will be processed here and being converted and used as feeds for animals like pigs and livestock. So this alone is to create over 1,000 employment under the cassava value chain in Cross River State, which will also have a multiplier effect within the state, in Niger Delta, and also the state in the northern part of this country. So this factory here is very close to the evacuating corridor of the super highway. Where it was located here, it's about 10 kilometers to the evacuating corridor to the super highway that will evacuate agricultural products from Cross River State to link up with the north. Also link it with the Bakassi deep sea port. There's an evacuation corridor to link the Gulf of Guinea, where international trade is going to take place. So this accounts for the reason why the governor has placed so much emphasis about the super highway project that was meant to link the south to the southeast and the northern part of this country. This emphasizes the importance of the super highway project and the deep sea port project, which the governor have finished preliminary work. As I speak to you, end work is almost completed. Because of policy of funds that is faced by Cross River State government, work have been slow. And this was one of the first projects that the president of this country, President Muhammadu Buhari, commissioned in his first 3 months in office. And he gave his word that the federal government was going to support the state in the construction of these 2 major projects that would open up the economy of Nigeria to the rest of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we can now proceed to other areas. Do you have any comments?
Yeah, I think so.
Any questions?
Okay. Thank you very much, my colleague, Commissioner Agro and Natural Resources. In Yobe too, is the same. Commissioner of Agriculture and Natural Resources. In some other states and even at the federal level, it's a bit different. And my sister, Commissioner of Commerce and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to be in Cross River State for a study tour. And I'm happy hearing from you some of the efforts the state government has been doing and is still doing. My concern on this thing is the sustainability. Because in Nigeria generally, we have very poor, not knowledge, we have very poor, mentality of sustaining very good projects like that.
Continuity and
there's no continuity. Secondly, how do you involve the farmers in this project? This is a demonstration farm. Do you invite the farmers to teach them some of the new technologies that you've adopted to have very good produce of the cassava? Secondly, do you provide them with input, both the cassava cuttings and other input? You know, these are important things that we should look into. I don't know how far you
Okay, for the issue of our model here, first of all, is that agriculture takes place in rural areas. So most of our major farmlands are in rural areas, and farmers are also drawn from the rural areas. Okay, and the farmers are being grouped into clusters, because with cluster farming, it is easier to manage resources, to manage irrigation, to manage transportation and other logistics, and to also ensure that the products are being evacuated from the farm gate to the factory where it is being processed. So in our like what we do in Cross River State, now Cross River State falls among the 6 states that is being approved by Central Bank of Nigeria under the cassava 5-star champion. So we have approval of with CBN to cultivate about 5,000 hectares of cassava. So that's what we got this land in 3 central districts, in Northern Central District. Here is the central, and also in the south. So these farms are in clusters. Very, very important is the agri-extension activities, training of our farmers in the modern technique of cassava planting. Having known that, okay, while you are using improved variety of cassava, the state government create an enabling environment. We have acquired agro mechanization equipment. We get the farm, clear it, plow it, and then harrow it, and then divide the farm into blocks, into farmers within this area. Within this area, you can see this part of the irrigation facility. In case they have water challenges, we use irrigation to irrigate them. So training is very, very key. And also we link up with, we make sure we provide the farmers improved cassava cuttings that would ensure improved farmers' yield. So we're partnering with Cassava Association of Cassava Association. We're also making sure that inputs that are being sent by CBN are also distributed to farmers. And then the agri extension officers will then train these farmers on the use of this fertilizer. Yes, on the use of this fertilizer.
Do you work with IIT in Ibadan?
No, we've
because
not.
they've gone so far on this cassava, cassava production and even the processing.
Yes, when I went for this workshop in Abuja with agri extension activities, when we met with them there, they're even thinking of modernizing a kind of a cassava. They call it yellow fletch cassava.
Just like the iron and sweet potato.
Just like sweet potato. Yeah. So we're in touch with them.
Yes. So you talk about employment. When you finish the construction, you are going to engage about 1,000 employees. How do you involve the youth? Are you going to train them as part of agriculture, or you just look for a graduate or in any capacity to employ them?
No, agriculture is even meant for graduate now. Because before now, our graduates have seen agriculture as an activity of the uneducated. But now we have changed their psychology that instead of remaining unemployed after school, you need to go into agriculture, into farming. So we've organizing a lot of training. As I speak to you now, my special assistant on agri-extension activities is organizing a workshop tomorrow here in Nikom. On organizing on agri-extension activities, training farmers on the various value chain. We'll take them one by one. This day is for cassava farmers. It moves from one central district to the other. So we also invite the resource person from the University of Calabar, University of Cross River State Agric Department to also come and assist us, update the farmers' knowledge on the modern technique
and
of
especially
cassava.
the youth now.
And especially the youth. So,
yes.
but our target in Cross River State is for the youth and women within the age of 15 to 35. If you're able to be able to kind of bridge that gap of getting these youths within this age, youthful years into agriculture, then you must have solved a lot of problems of unemployment.
Maybe one more
Thank
thing
you.
before we leave.
Thank you.
This factory is under commerce or under agriculture?
Agriculture and commerce will have a relationship. Yes. But you ask one question, say you ask one question about sustainability.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the-
You see,
yeah.
it's difficult for individuals now to have money, knowing how difficult it is to source for money from the bank. So the state government is part of creating of an enabling environment to get money from the state government, establish this industry. After establishing this industry, we now concession it
Wow, that is
There
one
is
thing.
there is a privatization council
which is a member.
on ground, and the idea is, like he said, we don't have financial muscle. So by the time these factories are completed, the council would set in motion a concession, whatever process, so that it's going to belong to Crossbarians
Yeah.
and Nigerians.
Yeah, because a lot of projects have been abandoned. Very nice, beautiful projects. After one left office, that's the end of it. And monies have been spent, and particularly those from the grassroots, as they are the majority taxpayers. So I'm also thinking along that line regarding our fertilizer.
Yes.
The commerce are there and the agri is there. But what next after we left? Because when I was there around 99 or so, 2000 and all this, we started. After we left office, it stopped.
And we are working very closely with the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
Like you mentioned, the Gulf of Guinea, whose municipal capital is in Calabar. They're involved in setting up hubs. And Ecom, we have 3 hubs, conservation hubs, where all these products would be aggregated with a view to exporting.
Okay.
And even without that, distributing to other, the off-takers. So we have been proposing 3 of those hubs. One in Calabar, using the Tinapa complex. One in Ikom, which is about an hour from here, to serve the central district. And then we're going to have one in Obudu, where the cargo airport is for easy off-take to other.
And maybe one in Yobe.
We will gladly do that. That's what we need you.
Don't shoot.